Today we're checking back in with Avalanche's Avax coin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see Avax go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome back into the Avax chart, guys. If you'd like to buy Avax or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. And it's been quite a few weeks since we've checked in with this coin. And for once, even though it's not looking absolutely fantastic at the moment, it's looking a bit brighter than it was previously. As you can see, we unfortunately fell below our key point of support here at $21. And then we also fell past our next point of support at about $18 as well. I'll just extend those lines out right here so we can see exactly what is going on from that perspective. Chuck that one right there. And you can see right now we're sitting below that just at $16. But although we have fallen below these support points, a few key things are starting to occur. First and foremost, we are sitting along now our 20-day moving average, which is sitting at a value of $17.59, which is just slightly below, of course, and we're at $16 right now. Unfortunately, we're below it. We got above it previously for a few days, and it has fallen through now, but it's still relatively close when we're looking at that. Instead of moving in a purely downwards direction as well, like this channel was showing over here, we are now starting to move sideways and consolidate a bit, which is good. We're seeing also a reduction in volume with people waiting to see what is going to happen over the next few days. One thing we can see as well is this trend line that we had over here at the top is sort of acting now as probably a more of a support point, but we are still not, I suppose, moving in the right direction. It looked like things were a bit more positive over here, but we rejected once again the $21 mark, which was our now resistance point, but previous key area of support. Hopefully what we'll see over the next coming weeks is a continuation of consolidation and we don't continue moving downwards. I'd suggest our next point of support is where we bounced off here at $13.75 roughly, so I'll chuck that line right there. That is potentially something we're going to hit again depending on what happens with the overall market. If markets pick up, given we've started moving sideways instead of downwards, we could potentially see some changes coming. But for now, we're still moving that way. Let's have a look at the RSI. Bringing that one up. You can see on the RSI, we did manage to get out of that oversold zone. Peak at 49.37, which was on one of our highest days recently. But we're now currently sitting at 37.54 after 4 consistent days of selling now, unfortunately. MACD wise, let's have a quick look at this one. You can see that we're still allegedly in the green period. The 12-day EMA did reject that 26-day EMA line, which is good, but they are now moving once again towards each other. We don't want to see a cross there because that will indicate a change in the trend. So whilst we're moving sideways now, if we see that 12-day EMA go below the 26-day, we will then start moving back in a downwards direction instead of a sideways direction. So what can we establish from this? Well, it's actually quite hard at the moment because it's looking like the market is at a bit of an indecision point. I think Avax specifically right now is being driven by the overall market. And of course, sentiment at this moment is pretty fearful. So that's really why we're going sideways and of course seeing a reduction in volume because nobody knows, I think, what's going to happen over the next few days. If I was to put a target in place, I'd suggest immediately get back above that 20-day moving average. That would be ideal. And then of course, hopefully a test or a breakthrough and a close back above this line over here. I think best case scenario though for us at the moment, and the most likely case scenario, is we're going to continue downwards and hopefully see a bounce off the $13 mark once again, and then hopefully a bounce upwards. We don't want to see, I suppose, sideways and another sort of bounce down the bottom. We want to see continuation in movement. High highs, high lows is ideally what we're going to start aiming for. That's what you want to keep your eye on. But right now my price target is once again $13 because we are seeing consistent sell-offs. We've had 4 days of red and we're on our 5th at the moment, so things aren't looking fantastic. There is still room to move downwards as the RSI reflects, but it's looking like hopefully we can see a bit of sideways action occurring as opposed to moving straight down. We did manage to, of course, as we saw in last video, break out of this downwards trending channel, which was very, very important. But we are unfortunately in a position where we could start to move downwards again, of course, if this support point does not hold up. So price target for today, a bounce off the $13 mark and then back up to test once again our 20-day moving average at 17, and of course after that horizontal resistance at $18.50. That wraps up today's analysis of Avalanche's Avax coin, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.